Welcome back to Weather for Weather Geeks. It's the Monday evening edition. We've got so much to get to. Let's not waste any time. This video will be long enough, I promise. This evening, temperatures are not exactly warm, but it's better than yesterday when we stayed in the teens for the third consecutive day. But today we've broken all the way into the mid-20s. It's a heat wave. If you like this, you'll really like the trends as we go through the next couple of weeks. All right, our weather maker, our much advertised weather maker, currently on track to arrive in the middle of the night. Light snow now moving through Milwaukee down to Indianapolis, approaching Fort Wayne as I record this at about 7:35 this evening. This is with a warm front, and behind this front, much more comfortable air lurking, 40s and 50s from St. Louis down to, look at Dallas, 65 degrees, a lot warmer than it was for the YSU game in North Texas a couple of days ago. All right, here's the timing on the snow as it comes in the middle of the night. I think on average this will begin about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. By 4 o'clock it should be snowing lightly to at times moderately across eastern Ohio and into western PA. It's going to snow for a few hours before daybreak. Now as we go towards mid-morning, our high-res model here, a little bit deceiving I think. I think you're going to see an area of mixing that it's not quite picking up on in through here. By mid-morning I think this will be sleet. And some, well, I'm not spelling very well, am I? It looks like more like shot. Sleet. And freezing rain in this zone through here, pushing in as we go into the mid-morning hours on your Tuesday. So a few hours of snow followed by that threat for freezing rain around mid-morning. Here's how I have things broken down as far as the hour-by-hour precipitation chances. You know, the best chance for snow is probably from about 3 to 6 or 7 a.m. Best chance for freezing rain and sleet will be from about 8:30, 9 o'clock through about 11 to noon. And then, even though it's not going to rain all afternoon, in fact, I think there could be some dry periods in the afternoon, what does manage to fall from the sky will in fact be just rain once we get into kind of the post 1 o'clock period. Now, tomorrow's a little bit tricky. The actual air temperature may be up to 34, but the rain might, if it rains, it might still try to freeze on some surfaces that are very cold after the cold stretch we've had over the last few days. So your railings, maybe sidewalks, parking lots, your car, anything that's cold, even if the air temperature is a few degrees above freezing, the rain could still try to freeze on those surfaces for a time early in the afternoon. Now the air temperatures tomorrow will get into the mid-40s eventually, but technically may still be freezing rain at 34 or 35 degrees in some spots early in the afternoon. As far as how much snow goes, here's a look at the modeling. Kind of congealed around an inch to 1.5 inches, and that's generally what our forecast is. That's the modeling. Here's our actual forecast. We think the most likely accumulation is 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Some places might try to get 2 or so. Best chance for that will be in the far north. Now, this isn't lake effect, but areas in far northern Trumbull and Mercer will take the longest to change over to some sort of mix around midday. So somewhat better chance of getting 2 inches or more. But in general, these are pretty modest snow accumulations, but they're coming at a bad time of the day. If you remember last Thursday, we had snow before rush hour in the evening. This is snow right before rush hour in the morning. So the impacts could be significant, even though the accumulations will be, again, fairly modest. So roads and travel impacted morning and midday. School adjustments, not my call, and I'm often surprised by this, but it is possible. I certainly think that there'll be some I think it's possible, I should say, that there'll be some school adjustments tomorrow. And 2-hour delays could be a little bit tricky because of that mid-morning freezing rain threat. A 2-hour delay may not do you any good. So some adjustments, a possibility. Make sure you're checking WFMJ.com. The 21 News app, the school adjustments, if they occur, will be on there. All right, the ice part of this, you know, I don't think this is going to be a huge deal in terms of ice. Now, I do think that it can be a little bit of a deal. There can be some slick spots. I can't even totally rule out isolated problems with power. You know, it would be brief and isolated, I think. But I think our ice accumulations on tree limbs and power lines will be under 1/10 of an inch. Once you're above 1/10 of an inch, and especially once you're up to 1/4 of an inch or more, then you start running into big-time problems with ice. This is not that kind of situation. This will not be an ice storm, if you will. So the snow's first, and then a couple of hours of ice, and then the wind kicks in. And I think the windiest part of the day tomorrow will be in the afternoon and evening as it warms up. The wind is really going to start howling. Check out our Futurecast model here. Wind gusts tomorrow, at least 25, if not 30 or 35 locally, and there could be some 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts in north central and western Ohio, Lima to Mansfield up to Sandusky. I think the worst of the wind will be out there, but we could see some gusts to 35. Not super crazy or anything, but it'll be very noticeable as you're out and about tomorrow afternoon, right through tomorrow evening. As I go on the air at 11 o'clock tomorrow evening, the wind should still be howling, and it should be quite mild. The wind will diminish on Wednesday. All right, so again, inch and a half of snow. Some ice that could cause some issues around mid-morning tomorrow. And then everything warms up enough in the afternoon that whatever falls from the sky is just plain old rain. It stays mild with showers into tomorrow night. Then Wednesday, we're in a break. And actually, Wednesday during the daylight hours, pretty nice outside. Mid-40s. That'll be late in the day. It won't be in the mid-40s all day. But late in the day, it could get into the mid-40s. Before the next round of rain moves in, it'll be towards evening and into the overnight. And even though it might rain a few times on Thursday, boy, is it going to be balmy. I've got 57 for the high on Thursday. The record is 64, so we're not going to be in record territory, but 25 degrees above the average. Gusty wind on Thursday. And again, I think showers will visit a few times, but it is not going to be a rainy day. It's not going to be a washout, so to say. All right, Friday behind our front, colder, but dry. I think, in fact, we'll see a decent amount of sunshine on Friday. This is Friday afternoon right here. The concern as we get into the weekend is the front that rolls through Thursday and cools us off Friday is going to stall and then start coming back north on Saturday. In the meantime, you've got a very strong high-pressure system providing a fresh injection of cold into the eastern U.S. and the mid-Atlantic. And when you have moisture coming north and running into a high that's this strong, 1046 millibars here, that's a recipe for some ice somewhere, and that could be here. This won't be in the morning Saturday, but as we get into the afternoon and evening, I think precipitation tries to move in, and temperatures will probably still be below freezing, but the problem is a few thousand feet above our heads, temperatures will be getting above freezing. So the concern is there for a period of ice. Saturday afternoon, evening, maybe right through the overnight. This is just one model, and things can certainly change, but it is possible that this will be more than a nuisance like we're going to have tomorrow morning. This could be a more legitimate ice storm. It's possible. Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, maybe right into Sunday morning. Now, I think we warm up eventually Sunday above freezing, and we'll get into the middle and upper 30s to around 40. But Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Saturday night, Sunday morning, that could be a trouble spot. Beyond that, though, after a brief break from the warming trend late this weekend into the weekend, boy, does it look toasty next week. Look at this big ball of brown and orange across the eastern two-thirds of the country early next week. Climatologically speaking, this is the coldest time of the year, second and third week of January, but boy, this does not look cold to me. We're looking at a prolonged stretch of abnormally mild weather starting early next week and probably lasting a good 10 days. All the way through the end of this period. This is day 15 here, the 24th of January. Now, beyond the 24th, 25th, I think the pattern does turn colder, more typical of late January, but winter is going on a hiatus for about 10 days. And that will translate into a lot of days with highs in the 40s, perhaps 50s at times. And not just for a day here and there, a stretch of days in the 40s. And our average high, coldest time of the year, is about 32. So, winter's going to give us a break, but we've got a couple of traps to get through. One tomorrow morning, another one Saturday night. After that, it looks like it's smooth sailing as far as any winter weather and harsh cold goes, at least for a while. That's tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for sticking with me. Check out my forecast tonight, 21 News at 11, and I'll have updates throughout the evening as new models come in and we take a look at tomorrow morning's situation. I'll bring you the latest.